The conflict in Palestine has lasted for generations, leaving over 20,000 people dead in major wars such as the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, the Six-Day War of 1967, and the Yom Kippur War of 1973, along with thousands of smaller-scale conflicts. Over 5 million Palestinians are currently refugees, and more than 3,000 people have died since the year 2000 in the Second Intifada and subsequent escalations. The conflict has also displaced millions, creating one of the largest and longest-standing refugee crises in modern history, with global politics deeply impacted by the ongoing violence and instability. Headlines have long covered the violence, including the more than 4,000 rockets fired by militant groups in recent years, peace talks that have stalled or collapsed, and failed agreements. But there's more to this conflict than politics or land. According to biblical prophecy, this struggle is deeply spiritual, rooted in ancient promises and divine plans, which adds an additional layer to the ongoing suffering of millions. Over 100,000 Palestinians and Israelis have been injured in various conflicts since 2000 alone, highlighting the immense human toll and suffering endured by both sides. It is not merely a geopolitical dispute. It is a cosmic battle that involves divine purposes and spiritual warfare that transcends human resolution. The conflict over this land reflects a divine plan recorded in scriptures thousands of years ago, a plan involving promises made to Abraham and his descendants. These promises weren't just about sovereignty over a piece of land, but about a profound relationship with God. The struggle is part of a divine narrative that continues to unfold today, influencing both the region and the spiritual destiny of the world. We will explore the biblical context of this conflict, the spiritual undertones that have shaped it, and why human efforts for peace often fall short without divine intervention. We will delve into the promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and uncover how these ancient prophecies still drive the complexities of today's conflict. This is not just a political struggle. It is a profound spiritual battle that touches the core of humanity's relationship with God and his ultimate plan for peace. The roots of the Palestinian conflict are traced back to biblical times, in particular to the promises God made to Abraham and his descendants. The book of Genesis is often quoted to show that God promised the land of Canaan to Abraham's lineage. In Genesis 15:18-21, God made a covenant with Abraham, giving his descendants the land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates. This covenant, which is considered unconditional, underscores that the fate of this land is ultimately in divine hands. This promise was not just a passing statement, but a pivotal declaration that would shape the course of history for generations to come, creating a deep spiritual connection between the people of Israel and the land of Canaan. However, biblical prophecy reveals that this land has never been just about physical territory. It has a spiritual purpose. The struggle for Palestine, foretold in Scripture, highlights that this divine narrative was set in motion long before the current political conflict began. This prophetic perspective shifts our understanding of the conflict from a territorial dispute to a cosmic battle, one that involves the divine plan for the entire world. This cosmic dimension means that the conflict is not only about historical claims, but about fulfilling a larger spiritual destiny that has implications for all of humanity. The ongoing struggle over this land is a reminder of the spiritual warfare that has been at play for millennia, involving forces beyond what we see on the surface. The Bible is filled with prophecies that mention the importance of the land of Israel and its significance to God's overall plan for humanity. In Genesis 12:1-3, God tells Abraham, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." This promise was not just about the physical possession of land, but also about the establishment of a people who would be blessed to be a blessing to all the nations of the earth. The covenant with Abraham was a foundational moment that determined the future spiritual significance of this land. It laid the groundwork for a divine mission that would extend beyond Israel's borders, ultimately influencing the entire world. The establishment of Israel as a nation was meant to be a beacon of God's blessings, and this role as a light to the nations was inextricably tied to the land itself. The promise to Abraham was later reaffirmed to his son Isaac and grandson Jacob, whose descendants became the 12 tribes of Israel. In Genesis 28:13-15, God speaks to Jacob in a dream, saying, "I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring." This passage underscores the importance of the land as a central part of God's plan, a promise that extended through multiple generations and remains significant today. The imagery of descendants spreading out like the dust of the earth signifies the expansive nature of God's plan. This was not just about a small piece of territory, but about a global mission that would ultimately encompass all people. The promise to Jacob reaffirms that the land of Canaan is an integral part of God's unfolding plan and that its significance would endure through all generations. The book of Zechariah 12:2-3, speaks of Jerusalem as a burdensome stone for all nations, foretelling that any nation that attempts to resolve the conflict or divide the land will ultimately be judged. From this perspective, the ongoing turmoil is part of a larger divine scheme, emphasizing that political solutions alone will not suffice. Jerusalem's role is uniquely significant because it is seen as the center of God's plan, a city chosen by God to be his dwelling place on earth. Psalm 132:13-14. The spiritual battle over Jerusalem reflects the cosmic struggle between God's purposes and the forces that oppose him. The significance of Jerusalem is seen throughout history, as the city has been a focal point for countless conflicts, all of which underscore its central role in God's divine agenda. The battle for Jerusalem is not just a battle over a city, it is a battle over God's authority and his plan for redemption, making it a spiritual epicenter for the cosmic conflict between good and evil. Moreover, the prophetic writings of Ezekiel also provide insight into the divine significance of the land. In Ezekiel 37, the prophet is given a vision of dry bones coming to life, symbolizing the restoration of the people of Israel to their land. This prophecy was partially fulfilled in 1948 when the modern state of Israel was established, but it also points to a future time when the spiritual restoration of Israel will be complete. The vision of the dry bones highlights the connection between the people of Israel and the land, emphasizing that the land itself is an integral part of God's redemptive plan. The dry bones coming to life is not merely a symbol of physical restoration, but also a sign of spiritual awakening. It represents a time when the people of Israel will be fully restored, not only to their land, but also to their relationship with God. This dual restoration, physical and spiritual, underscores that the land is more than just a piece of territory. It is a key element of God's plan to bring about redemption for his people and ultimately for all of humanity. The fulfillment of this prophecy is an ongoing process, with the establishment of the State of Israel being only the beginning. The full realization of this vision will occur when God's purposes for Israel are fully accomplished and the spiritual restoration is complete. In the next episode, we will explore the spiritual warfare that has taken place in the land of Canaan, from ancient conflicts involving the Philistines to the cosmic battles described in the book of Daniel. As we wrap up this episode, we hope you found this exploration of spiritual warfare insightful and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this content, please consider giving us a like and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Your support truly motivates us to create more episodes like this. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so YouTube will notify you of our future releases. Thank you for being part of our journey.